Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to start the new chapter, which is differential equation, and we'll read ordinary differential equation, whether it is homogeneous or non-homogeneous, whether it is linear or non-linear. We'll see different methods of solving the linear and non-linear equations, homogeneous and non-homogeneous equations. Other than that, we will also see partial differential equation. We'll see method of variable of separable, and we will see the standard equations for partial differential equation, which is heat, wave and Laplace equations. So let's start. Differential equation is basically an equation for a function where the value of the function is related to its derivatives. So basically, if we say one of the variable is dependent on another variable, then we will be having this equation in the form of derivatives of that dependent variable in terms of independent variables, or partial derivative of the dependent variables in terms of independent variables, right? So it can be of the form, let's say, if I say the first order differential equation, then it can be dy by dx as a function of x and y, right? So now, what is this ordinary differential equation? Ordinary differential equation. Well, all the differential coefficients are with respect to a single independent variable. So however derivatives and whatever power or degree it have, it should be, the dependent variable should be in terms of only one independent variable, right? For example, let's say it can be d3y by dx cube plus p of x d square y by dx square q of x dy by dx. Let's say another term is t of x is equal to r of x, right? So we can see this y terms are having partial derivative with respect to x, whether it is first order, second order or third order, but only in terms of one single independent variable. So now we need to see what is degree and order. Well, order is like of the highest derivative is the order. Like in previous example, we have the highest derivative as third order derivative. This is third order derivative. So in that case, we can say the highest order derivative we have in this equation is the order of the equation, and the power, the highest order derivative is raised to. This is degree. Like in the previous example, we have a third order derivative, but the power is raised is 1, so the degree will become 1. For this we need to rationalize the differential equation present. For example, let's say we have y equal to x dy by dx plus x square d2y by dx square. Then in this case we can see that this order is 2 because this is the second derivative, right? But the power it is raised to is 1, so degree will become 1. So this was present in the simplest form. If it is not present in such form, we will have to present in the rationalized manner. For example, let's say we have 1 plus dy by dx whole square to the power of minus 5 by 3 is equal to a times of d2y by dx square. Then this power raised is minus 5 by 3, which will have to be rationalized. So what we can do is, let's take cube on both the sides. Then this will become 1 plus dy by dx minus 5 equal to a cube d2y by dx square cube. Now this minus 5 also have to be removed, so we can say this is going to be, if it is x to the power of minus 1, it is 1 by x, right? So this is nothing but 1 by such and such factor, so I'm not writing in that manner. Instead of that, we can directly write, so this can be written as a cube into second derivative raised to power 3 into 1 plus dy by dx square to the power of 5. Now we can see the highest order derivative we have is this one, which is second order derivative. So this order is going to be 2. We don't have anything higher than this. And no matter what power you bring here, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, anything, but this dy by dx cannot change the degree of this d2y by dx square, which is third degree. So degree is third. Had it been second derivative, let's say that it was second order derivative, then we had to expand this entire term so that we can get the highest order degree in this case. But now, as of now, it is not so, so it won't mix with the second order derivative, and the degree for this case is going to be coming from here only, right? So this is the degree and order. Now, like we said, we will have a general equation in terms of the derivatives. So there are possibility we have an equation, let's say like we had this equation in the previous case as d3y by dx cube plus p of x d2y by dx square plus q of x dy by dx plus t of x equal to r of x. So in this case, this is y, yes, this is y time t of x into y. Now, so we can see this entire function on the left hand side is actually a function of, I'll say x, y, y dash, double dash, y cube equal to r of x, right? So what if this rx becomes 0? If rx becomes 0, we will have a function only in terms of y and its derivative, so on up to, let's say, f to the nth derivative equal to 0. So we won't have an individual function of x like this, right? Here also, if we are having a function of x, it is in coefficient with y. So that is the situation when we say this is homogeneous equation. It follows the linearity property, so can be added, or you can say superposition is possible in this case. And if r of x is not equal to 0, this will become non-homogeneous equation, right? Then there are situations where we'll have to see if the equation is linear or not. So let's say we have equation of the form anx for nth derivative, an minus 1x n minus 1th derivative, and so on, let's say up to a1x du by dx plus a0 x, so we have taken y equal to some function of f of x. Now the points required is coefficients, that is aix in this case, should be function of independent variable only, right? It should be function of independent variable only. Like these functions, they cannot have y in its definition. Other than that, all the, let's say, nth derivative we have, all n derivatives, any individual I derivative, let's say I, that is di y by dxi, should have a power of 1, right? You can see these all terms, this derivative terms are all raised to power 1. None of them are like this, like it is raised to, let's say, square. So it is not like that, right? So that means all of them are raised to power 1. And we don't have any non-linear function of y. No non-linear function of y, like y square, sine y, anything like that. We should not have anything like that. This f of x is also clearly mentioned that this is going to be a function of x. It can be 0, it can be constant also. So in this case, if we follow all these conditions, then we are going to have our equation as linear equation. This is linear differential equation. Fine. For example, let's say we have equation like d2y by dx square minus 5x times of y plus dy by dx is equal to 25. In this case, we have this y, very clearly y is the dependent variable and x is the independent variable. So we can see that y is having second order derivative with respect to x. The coefficient is 1. this y is like 0th derivative with coefficient 5x, which is also a function of x. Then like that, this is function of first order derivative of y with respect to x, and it is also having a constant 1. This is constant function, like you can say it is a function of x. So overall we can say that this is linear differential equation. But what if we have, let's say, d2y by dx square minus y times of dy by dx plus y equal to 25. Let's say like this. In this case, we can clearly see that the coefficient of this first derivative is y, which is not a function of x. It is a function of dependent variable function. So in that case, this will become non-linear, right? Similarly, if we have a function like d2y by dx square plus 5x dy by dx square plus y equal to 30, then again this will become non-linear. Why? Because the reason is this first derivative is raised to power of 2. This is non-linear. What if we have a function like d2y dx square plus 5 dy by dx plus y equal to sin x plus cos x? If you see, this is second order derivative, power degree is 1, fine. This is first order derivative, degree is 1, the constant coefficient. This is also fine. This is also fine, a function of x. This is the independent variable. But what if in this case this is a cos y, which is a function of dependent variable, and obviously we can see this is non-linear function, then this equation becomes non-linear, right? Now let's see what is this initial value problem. Well, what if we have equation like y dash is equal to function of x comma y with given condition as y at x naught is equal to, let's say, y naught, or let's say y at x equal to 0 equal to some, let's say, y or y1. So what is it? Apart from providing the differential equation, they are also providing some of the conditions. So this is the initial value condition. There can be possibility that they have y dash, they may provide y dash of x is equal to 0, let's say 5. So these are the case where we are providing some initial conditions. As per that, the solutions we are going to get, the solutions for equation, let's say we have for some function, we have a general equation of c1 times of y1 x plus c2 times of y2 x and so on. So if we have certain initial conditions provided, any of it, or maybe all of them, or maybe whatever number of conditions are required, then probably we can find some constant value c1, c2 and so on, so that we can have a particular solution for the requirement, right? Also, like we said, this homogeneous equation follows linearity, so we can use superposition for all these cases. So if there is a differential equation in terms of y, let's say y dash up to y to the power n with x equal to, let's say, r of x. So if r of x is equal to 0, that is homogeneous equation, then the solution y of x will be given as y h of x, that is, it will only have the general solution coming from the homogeneous set of equations. Whereas if r of x is not equal to 0, which will make it non-homogeneous, in that case this y of x will have two functions. This is y h of x plus y p of x. So this y h of x is the general solution, whereas this y p of x is particular solution. This is particular solution. So in case the equation is homogeneous, we won't have any particular solution. We will directly write the general solution as the overall solution, right? So this is how we can solve these cases and find the value. So we'll start with, let's say we will start with homogeneous equations. We'll have different methods, like for the constant coefficients, or maybe for Euler-Cauchy's equations, or maybe Bernoulli's equation. And after that we will move to non-linear equations, where we will find the solutions from the, let's say, variation of parameter or variable separable method, or maybe the other method like Euler-Cauchy, and particular solution can also be found using undetermined coefficients and all these things. So we'll see one by one how to find the solutions for all.